Are you ready to lift your 2021 ZR2? Then watch this video. The Colorado ZR2 is a truck that Chevrolet came out with that is built to handle a bunch of off-road adventures. And we're totally pumped to have one in the shop putting in BDS's 4-inch kit. Now this kit is pretty cool, but they say that it only fits the 17 to 19 models. And the truck behind me is a 2021. So we're a little bit anxious to see exactly what happens. I've done a little bit of research online because I've seen other guys doing this install. So we're gonna tackle it now and walk you through the whole process. Travis has done a great job getting this kit together, and I want to walk you through some of the things that we found. The truck's on the lift, and for the most part, this kit does indeed work. So it's probably a good time for BDS to update their website because it does fit the 2021. We found one little difference, maybe two little differences with a drive shaft and exhaust modification that is called out in the instructions for the older trucks that may not necessarily apply to this one. But all in all, it worked out really well. As you can see, the kit comes with new steering knuckles, which are right here. It comes with differential drop brackets. It comes with a drive shaft spacer and everything for the rear, which includes blocks, U-bolts, and shock extensions. In the front here, I really like how we were able to keep this factory skid plate. We talked to the owner of this truck and he said he does jump it. So this truck is gonna see some hang time, which is pretty cool. To make this skid plate work, you actually have to cut off 1.5 inches or so in the back of it and then drill some new holes. I really like this because you don't actually see the differential drop cross member, which is behind there. To install those diff drop cross members, we did have to cut all 4 lower control arm pockets, which is a little bit more intensive than a normal diff drop kit like on a Silverado or a Ram. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, these shocks are the crowning glory of the suspension on the ZR2 Colorado. And front and rear, we are able to keep them. You can see that big strut spacer up top there. That's essentially what gives you the lift on these trucks, and frankly, any other truck that we're doing, that's an IFS, that we're doing a lift on. Right here you can see, this is a front drive shaft spacer. And most of the differences between the 19s and the 21 all center around the front drive shaft. The 21s include a slip yoke back at the back here, whereas the 19s have a bolted flange. So that made it actually a little bit easier. You can see the spacer that's installed. BDS also calls out some exhaust modifications that have to happen right in this area right here. And there's definitely nothing that needs to happen with the tube. The only thing that we did is we got a grinder and just made a little bit of clearance here between the drive shaft and that exhaust flange right there. Pretty straightforward. BDS also calls out this transfer case skid plate, and they say that it doesn't work. But because this truck is designed to to be used off-road, we wanted to make sure that it's got as much protection as possible. So our tech Travis was able to come up with a neat little shim that we were able to shim it down and create enough space inside there so that the transfer case skid plate can be retained. Now, one thing while we're talking about this transfer case, is that it's clocked. So we actually had to take the transfer case out of this truck and rotate it to make the drive shaft angle work a little bit better. If you get it right in here, you can see the clocking ring that comes included in that kit from BDS. And that just allows us to be able to rotate that. Most of the transfer cases have a symmetrical 6-bolt pattern, and that enables you to just turn the thing and clock it. So pretty straightforward there. In the back, you can see here, Travis is still working. The lift blocks are right here, as well as the U-bolts and some shock extensions. This is what the shock extension looks like. It bolts right into that lower bracket, and it allows the correct amount of suspension travel. So this is it, the ZR2 is all wrapped up. I really love how this truck turned out. A couple things that I really like about this kit. I really like that the front skid plate is able to be retained, and I love how it ties into the front diff drop cross member. That is awesome. I also think it's essential that it retains the factory shocks that come on these ZR2 trucks, because they are killer. I like that the customer is going to use this truck off-road, and like he said to me earlier, he's already launched it, so I'm sure he's going to do it again. If you like this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our website, because we've got a ton of cool projects that may give you some inspiration for a project of your very own. See you later.